Hi, this is Adam Fans from Bays Mountain Planetarium in Kingsport, Tennessee. We're going to be learning a little bit about a basic feature of astronomy, a basic tool to use, and that is star charts. Now, star charts come in all sorts and all flavors and all sizes, and so it can be daunting as to what to do, which ones to use. But really, the simplest and easiest ones are the best for you to use. And there's free ones out there too that you can download and print on your own. And of course, there's a lot of apps for your phone or tablet or computer to use, but quite honestly, sometimes it's nice just to have a tactile thing that you can hold in your hands. I have a star chart here. I am not trying to promote this particular one, but I'm going to be using it as a good example. And so, what is a star chart? Here we see one, and it's actually a whole booklet of the entire night sky. So a star chart, it's like a boating chart or a map where it shows the roads, or a topo map where it shows the topographical surface of the Earth. If you're hiking or even doing like surveying work, those are important. This is a map for the night sky. And so what you can see is here is just, it's most but not all of Orion the Hunter, as an example. You're missing these two top stars, which are right about here, and the head, which is right about here. That's one of the negatives about star charts. They're not infinite, and so they're in sections, and sometimes they cut off areas. But you can see Orion clearly. What else do you see? Lots of other stars, fainter ones, and they're all represented by the size of the dot. So bigger dots mean brighter stars, like here's Rigel, and you can see it's not physically large in the sky, it just represents a very bright star in the night sky. These stars, the three stars of the belt of Orion, are kind of medium in brightness. And then you can see, I don't know if you can see it from this, but we'll show some close-ups, lots of little tiny little dots. Those are fainter stars, some of which you must have a telescope to see because you cannot see them with just your eyes. Also, you notice some other features like this green thing here. That's a nebulous region. And this is actually something that you can see with photographs. It's not naked eye. But sometimes they are. Right below the belt of Orion, right in there, you see a whole complex right there. And that is the Orion Nebula, the Great Orion Nebula. That is visible to the unaided eye, and binoculars really show it well. So you don't have to have a big telescope or anything to see some of these things. But what does this chart do? It's showing you where things are in relation to other objects that are easy, like brighter stars. So as an example, this is showing you Orion. It's showing the belt stars of Orion, which are very simple and easy to see in the sky, even in light polluted skies. I have been in the middle of Manhattan, New York City, Manhattan, with all those lights, and I have seen all of Orion, that constellation, including the belt stars, in Manhattan. So you can be in the middle of the city. You just don't have a street light right over you. That's when you're not going to see anything. But this is showing you that just below the belt stars of Orion, right here, you can see in the sword of Orion, it has the labels. It says Orion Nebula. It says M42. And that is the 42nd object in Charles Messier's list of objects that are not comets. It's a whole story by itself, but Charles Messier was a French astronomer in the 17th century who was looking for comets. And he made a list of objects that weren't comets so that he wouldn't forget or mistakenly say, oh, that might be a comet there. He could look at his list. It's like, oh, no, that's so-and-so. I'll ignore that. That's not a comet. Turns out those are the 110 best objects to find in the night sky. So we still use the Messier list for the night sky. So it shows you exactly where and in relation. So you see the three stars, you know it's right under it, and so you could use binoculars or a telescope and find that very simply. Let's see. As an example, I'm going to just kind of randomly flip around. Well, actually, let's see here. Sorry about this. Okay. As an example, here's something that's kind of interesting. You're going to see part of Virgo, the constellation, which is made of fainter stars. As you can see, some of these are small dots. Names of stars are provided too, which is very nice. I don't know if you can see all these little red ovals all over the place. There's a whole bunch of them. Those are all galaxies. And I will be honest, you need a telescope really to see a lot of these, or almost all of them. But this is what you use this kind of a star chart for. There are other star charts that are more basic, that don't go as detailed or zoomed in as much. And then there are other star charts, they really go zoomed in, and they only show a little part of the sky, and that's when you're really serious. But still, it's very nice to be able to find objects in the night sky using star charts. They're just a lot of fun just to kind of scan through. Okay, here we go. Here is the entire constellation of Leo, the Lion. We have the mane and the heart of the lion, Regulus, that bright star. And here's his tail and back end, right here. And so we have star names. We also have the Greek letters that represent the stars by a different catalog system. We have lots of these objects that have multi-numbers after them. So 3384 with a little galaxy there. So that number is an NGC number, New General Catalog. And those are really faint little objects that you need a telescope to see. But this is just one example. Over here, look at that. Right in front of Leo, we have the Beehive cluster right there, M44. And that is shown by a yellow circle with dots around the edge. And that means open cluster. So that's a really nice cluster of stars. You can see naked eye, faintly. Binoculars really show it well. And of course, a telescope will show even more stars. Here, M67, another open cluster, but it's smaller. So the size of the circle tells you how physically large it looks in the sky, too. And so a lot of good usefulness. And of course, they'll have a scale for you to use as to what the sizes of the stars mean by their magnitude or how bright they are. There's lots and lots of charts out there. This particular one, I actually do recommend. It is actually very good. It's from Sky and Telescope. It's called the Pocket Sky Atlas. And as you can see, if you have a big pocket in your coat, it'll fit in there. But it's just a real nice, very pretty star chart and works very well. But there's lots out there. And again, you don't have to pay for some. And I have a link that I can share with you where you can download and print your own star charts for free. So I want to tell you about star charts for finding and mapping out the night sky.